Hello everyone, my name is Antasil, and today we'll be doing something special for the Netherlands. I'm recording this on the 26th of April 2022, and tomorrow will be King's Day, where we celebrate the birthday of the king. Well, we actually still have a king. It's kind of a 20th century concept, really, but hey, what can you do? The Netherlands has a focus tree that allows you to get a queen in charge of the country. We have a queen now as a national spirit, but she's symbolic mostly. You're looking for this focus here to get Wilhelmina in power as an actual portrait leader in power. And there's a few cool things here. Federalite favors need to be in faction of the UK. Wilhelminism needs new judge unity. Yeah, just follow historical focuses and we should be alright. Let's go. For research, I will be going for the basic researches. I will eventually go for a good air force in order to not get bombed away by the Germans. But I'll start with one civilian factory and a bunch of military factories. I'll construct convoys mostly. I'm not really interested in the subs in this game, despite having a very good sub-admiral. I just don't feel I can actually contribute here, and the only thing I really want to do is take out Germany. As a Dutchman, that's truly my purpose. I don't have too many military factories yet, so I'll have to be sparingly. One on artillery and one on support equipment. Eventually I'll also need anti-air and a lot of air force. I'll depend on convoys and then lease to fill up my gun deficits eventually. I have an army. I have almost no manpower, so I'll convert all of these to the Kolonial Garnizoen. And I'll train a bunch more of those. And we'll convert those to an Indonesian template. Now, if you've ever seen my Dutch in Netherlands into EU template video, you'll know what's coming next. I, as a Dutchman, am not entirely in favor of conscripting Indonesians against their will, so I'm renaming this to Indonesian School. That way, I'm offering internships to our brave Indonesian volunteers here, and they'll fight for us in the army and get an education to boot. Isn't that great? Let's go at 5 speed. Now, I don't believe at this difficulty I will be able to hold the line here, so eventually I'll make fallback lines and fortresses on around Fortress Holland. Try to keep as much as possible. Grind the Germans down and eventually start taking provinces of them. Once I do, and I have the spirit Wilhelminism, I'll get a free nice German puppet out of it. Now, how does this work? You convert all of these guys, 24 of these beautiful divisions, to Indonesian School, and they'll fill up with the Indonesian manpower. They'll have a big gun deficit, not to worry, we'll get around to that. Form new government is done, and we're going for Gateway to Europe. Gateway to Europe is done. I need to do and maintain trade neutrality decisions first, so I'll go for abandon the gold standard. Now, to get to maintain trade neutrality, I will need trade influence of 50 from both Germany and the United Kingdom, and that means clicking a lot of buttons here. Meanwhile, there's a lot of political power. Get the genial anti-revolutionary guy here for extra political power. We can certainly afford that and keep a close eye on these decisions. Abandon the gold standard is done. I'm not finished with those decisions by a long shot, so I'll go for overturn military budget costs. Alright, overturn military budget cuts is done. I'm also prepared to do maintain trade neutrality, so I'm getting that one out of the way first. And that's maintain trade neutrality. I could do this one right now. Yeah, let's do it. I need the non-aligned support. The Fokker fighter has been researched, so I'll assign one factory on it, so I'll have at least some production. Oranje Boven has been finished. I'm not going to do this one yet. This one will take up enough support. Now on the industrial side, there's quite a lot of stuff to do here. These are very interesting construction speed techs that actually do need to be researched. I want to get to Fokker. I want a research slot. So much to do, but I do need this one. Prepare the inundation lines for defense against Germany later on. And I'd also need this one to replace my field marshal with an epic defender and get my doctrines going. However, I don't need these right away, and getting construction speed early will help me in the long run, so I'm going that way first. Do have to take a close eye at getting all those necessary focuses later on before I'm actually attacked. We'll also go to free trade to help with our construction speed. I have 20 command power, so I can afford to use that on an infantry expert. You can never go wrong with an infantry expert. Attack, defense, experience gain. Continue the public works is done. I'm continuing with the Noordoostpolder. It's actually this part here. Don't forget to add trucks to the production queue. Research them first, of course, obviously. Finish Noordoostpolder is done. Let's do the Maas Tunnel. Yeah, it's a tunnel here in Rotterdam under the Maas. Now, what's the defense plan later on? I can't realistically hold these tiles here. This is all plains. Even with inundation lines, Germany will break me here. I'm going to try to hold on to Leeuwarden. The tile here, will probably get pushed out of it. Utrecht, because this is where I live. This tile here, it's plains, but it's protected on all sides by rivers. Eindhoven, Breda and Zeeland here. There's a little wiggle room here. I can always fall back to Rotterdam, but I'd like to keep control of the province of Brabant for the factories there. There's a lot of civilians factories here now. Maas Tunnel is complete. Expand the artillery inrichtingen. And here we go, continue the Zuiderzee works. What is the Zuiderzee? Well, that's this body of water here. It was called the Zuiderzee, and this is the North Sea, the Noordzee. And at some point we dammed it here with a separation dike, afsluitdijk. So this became freshwater, and then we pumped out parts of the water to create a new province. It's not on the map here, but you can look it up in a Netherlands map. I have 35,000 guns in deficit, but I'm going to put my next factories in fighters. It's more important to be able to defend against enemy bombardment. Alright, this is what I'm going to try with a level 4 fort on Leeuwarden and level 4 on Utrecht. Level 4, level 4, level 3, level 3. I'm going to surround Holland and try to keep as much control of my provinces as possible. Also, Zuiderzee works will allow me to more quickly produce military factories. Yeah, that sounds like a very good idea. Continue the Zuiderzee works is done. Develop the Randstad first. Do keep in mind that this will give me an excellent bonus for industry here. 2 point years reduction for dispersed 4, and that's really worth it. So whenever one of my research slots opens up, I'll be using it. I have 20 army XP, so I'm going to edit the Indonesian school template with engineers and support artillery. One factory on anti-air can't hurt. Muiden steel mill is done. I will go for Fokker, inundation lines and supreme commander next. Dispersed industry 4 is almost done. But the beautiful thing about the Zuiderzee, it keeps on giving. There's another research bonus here. So I'll go for dispersed industry 5 in 1938. It'll be 1939 when I get it, but it's still very good. I'm also going to expand the Indonesian school with anti-air. There's no way that I'm going to have enough of that stuff, but well, it'll fill up eventually. Prepare inundation lines is done. I'm going for appoint Supreme Commander. Now the inundation lines will give you a decision here, inundate the water lines, and will flood parts of the Netherlands to help with defense. You do need to be at war for this, of course. And what will it do? It'll add defense modifiers and division speed debuffs for the enemy in all of your provinces. And what it does is the lower parts of the country will just be flooded with water, so the enemy is forced to go over the higher terrain where all the best defenses are. Historically, the Netherlands did use the inundation lines to flood large parts. A weak point was this part here, where the Germans could advance over higher terrain, and there was heavy fighting there. In the end, the Germans decided to completely obliterate Rotterdam by bombing, so the Dutch defenders were forced to surrender then. Czechoslovakia has been annexed. Germany will be going for Poland next. Don't have that much time left, but I think we're alright. It is time to rearrange the front lines here. After all, this is not what I'm going to defend. I'm going to place one army here. I don't think I'll even bother with this part of Friesland. So I'll just make two fallback lines on Leeuwarden. And the other half on Utrecht. We have a new Supreme Commander. Yeah, let's go for the Queen first. Symbol of resistance. I can also get a doctrine. I will go, of course, for Grand Battle Plan. Maximum defense. I need a new Field Marshal. Winkelmann is the man. And, well, we could get one of his traits, but I'll add him here. Winkelmann defense. More defense is better. And now I can go to limited conscription as well. Symbol of resistance is done. I'll do Germany as the greater threat now. It will give me a few extra forts, and they might just stack on top of the ones I'm already building. Aircraft production is ramping up nicely. They won't dominate the Germans, but at least will save me from some bombing. I'm also building a radar station to help out with that. The war will kick off now any moment, and there we go. And Germany is justifying on me. Poland has capitulated. They'll start stacking up on my border now. Belgium has been declared on. Not declaring on me yet. There they are. Setting the speed down. I'm inundating the water lines before I forget about it. I'm joining the Allies. And all my fighters that are not exercised already, I'll put them on interception and on my own air zone. Now we are at war, and this will allow me to go to. Ooh, I want to go to war economy, so probably do war propaganda first. I'm almost there because it's a defensive war. I can go to extensive, but I don't need a manpower just yet. And 50%. Let's go to war economy. This looks okay. I have lost a lot of tiles in Friesland, but I'm still controlling the state because I have the big victory point here. Now that's the goal here, to keep control of my states as long as possible, especially Brabant. Although if the Germans really start hammering me there, I will probably have to withdraw to Rotterdam here. Now there's a lot of Lend-Lease still coming in. As long as I have convoys, I'll accept it. Phillips is done. I can go for the 4 for research slot here. I can also go for replace defeatist government. That will get me a new leader. And then the Queen. Well, this is a Queen's game, so I'll go for replace defeatist government. What do they mean with that, defeatist government? Well, this guy here is a defeatist, and he's head of the government, so we want to replace him. He tried to surrender to the Germans a little too soon. That's why he got that title. France will probably not survive, and then I'll have all of this work to myself. How are we doing in terms of casualties? I've suffered 8,000 casualties, and the Germans have lost 230,000 against me, so that's good. The bad thing is the Germans have millions more where that came from, and I only have 128,000. Alright, this is starting to look tricky here. So I'm going to pull off a few guys and move into Eindhoven. The Queen fires defeatist ministers, and I'll get Peter Sjoerds Gerbrandy, and I can go for the Queen as my head of state. This does look to be the sweet spot in fort levels. If you build too high forts, then the Germans won't attack you anymore. But with 26,000 casualties and well, 750,000 on the German side, they haven't attacked Luxembourg yet. I would like them to get that over with because of, well, Revive the Buffer State proposal requires Luxembourg to be capitulated. At some point they'll do it eventually, but well, the sooner the better. Alright, here's the only man in the Dutch government. I'm going to continue this path because I really want to get Wilhelminism, which will give me German defectors and a chance of a German puppet. Now all of these are required stuff. Now that I have Wilhelmina, I'm also allowed to get Prince Bernhard. That's not her husband. She has a daughter called Juliana. She married Bernhard, a nobility guy from Germany. And there have been many rumors about him, about being a collaborator in league with the Germans. But once war broke out, he was very much this adventurous daredevil who wanted to go pretty much at it alone. I'll take him because of the fun events that always pop up. Well, that's Paris, and therefore France. Me and Luxembourg are pretty much on our own here, and the Germans have increased their attacks here. If renewing is done, I'll just go for depillarization. Alright, 50,000 casualties versus 1.2 million. How many trucks do I have in reserve? More than enough, so I'll add some extra trucks to this template and a motorized artillery and make them elites. We're about to hit the 2 million, which will be first, the 100,000 on my side and the 2 million on the German side. Now I really need to have these guys recover a bit. I'll try to pull 2 off, but it seems I can no longer cross this strait. Now that these units are no longer allowed to retreat, I probably will lose them completely because they count as encircled. I really don't like that. Yep, they're dying. That's a shame. Let's put them under another general and give them a last stand order. See what they can bleed out the enemy for. Well, I held on to the tile. Don't ask me how. It's really weird I can't cross this anymore. Alright, we jumped a bit. We're still holding. Germany declared on Yugoslavia for some reason, and they're still not attacking Luxembourg. Let's see now. The Germans have 3.4 million casualties against me. Yeah, that's gotta hurt them somewhere. Look at these unit bars. Come on, yes. 6 units encircled. Let's finish them off. Does look like the Germans have really reinforced me here, and they're going for Luxembourg. Thank you. Probably the smart thing to do here is just withdraw to my alliance and then make another encirclement when they reach my borders. I'll do that. Ah, yes, yes, yes. $5 million casualties against the Netherlands. I got naval invaded behind my back, and Amsterdam is unprotected. But it looks like this will just be a free encirclement. No, come on, come on, come on! Well, this is no longer funny officially. Germany is 7 million dead for me, 600,000 myself. Well, I'm back. Pretty much looked at red and green bubbles for about a year. Managed to break out here. I'm back in the Allies, so I can do the focus to form the buffer state, and I'm breaking out, it seems. Probably has something to do with D-Day. Well, let's just hope that's it. And, well, let's see what we can make of it. Japan has declared on me, and I'm losing the Indies. That's not good for my manpower. All of my manpower is Indonesian. Well. And I'm kicked from the faction again. And that cancels my proposal and my focus. Oh, this is so annoying. Just give me this tile, boys, and I'll be eternally grateful. Well, at least for a few minutes. Oh, yes, thank you. And we got Bremen, so these guys are cut off. Finish it, please. Yes, reinforce me, please. Again, ever so grateful. No. Yes! Here we are. That would be Wilhelm III leads the Civil War. And look at what we have here. The German Empire is a puppet of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Well, it took me years to get here. But I'm there now. They should be... Are they in a faction with me? They're not in a faction with me. Doesn't matter. Can't create a faction. Doesn't matter. I have the Civil War. That means I'll get defectors as well. And whenever I get control of the states, I'll transfer to them. And whenever there's a peace deal, should we ever win this, all of Germany will automatically be mine. Alright, let's lead the liberation of Denmark to the volunteers here. Put the main army back on the line with Germany. And do what every Dutchman ever dreams of. Take Berlin. Well, the Allies want us back. So let's immediately go for not domestic innovation, but revive the buffer state proposal. Alright, this is starting to look like something. Well, I took Berlin. The wet dream of every Dutchman in this game. Ah yes, the United Kingdom supports United Netherlands proposal. I annex Belgium and Luxembourg, and I get every unit leader. Screenshot this later. Never actually succeeded in getting this. Of course, Belgium and Luxembourg have some German problems right now, but there's nothing a little liberation campaign can do about that. Let's liberate the rest of our glorious country here. Maastricht. Got Munich. I should want to take Dresden, I think. And we actually split off this entire area. Well, Indonesia is on its last legs. Well, here we are, the peace deal. Germany got itself, so there's nothing to do there. I'm not aligned, so I want to puppet Italy. I can't do that just yet, so I'll just satellite Occitanian Republic for one turn. Well, that's the disadvantage of being in the Allies. I'll do supervised state on Italy, just so the others can do that, and I'll do the same with Romania. No, I can't do that. All right, that's the peace deal. I have Germany as a puppet, Italy and Occitania as supervised states, as well as Greater Hungary. That makes me very strong all of a sudden. Anyway, this was supposed to be a quick and easy game. Forced a civil war. It took me until 1943 to actually break out of my own lowlands and force that civil war. I am now a very, very strong kingdom of Netherlands, and I could actually continue this game. Maybe I will, but I will not continue this recording. I will say this: long live the Queen, long live Wilhelminism, and thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.